This show was brought to you by Roxbury High School, Taco Bell, Mr. Cooper's TV production class, and viewers like you.
Welcome to Making History. I'm your host, Albert Home. Today we're here to discuss a great decade, a decade of many firsts, the 1970s. The 1970s brought about new technology, great entertainment, and fabulous music. The technology that spun out in the 1970s gave birth to what we now know as common news items, like the email, space stations, and floppy disks. First email was created by Tomlinson in 1971. He was able to do this by creating a program called CopyNet, which allowed to copy files over a network. To test out his program, he sent an email to his colleagues and giving them instructions on how to use the program. Addressing was also possible when Tomlinson added the commercial @ symbol to connect the user and the host. For example, screenname@yahoo.com would be an example of such a thing. The 1970s produced one of the greatest movies of all time. It was Hollywood's first martial arts movie, Enter the Dragon by Bruce Lee. Here's a video montage. Enjoy.
Gentlemen, let the tournament begin.
Y'all ready? Yeah. Let's go! Now here it is, one to make you move. Something with a funky kung fu groove. Something that'll make you shout, make you play to the crowd, and make you wanna turn it out. So honeys gather round. I'll pick you up, take you on, go pound for pound. Cause I'm the only man who'll please ya. I got a little something that'll tease ya. So throw those hands up high. Shake your body, move from side to side. Cause we just begun, party people in the place, yeah, we're having fun. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a big star. I'm gonna lay it on and go woo-ha. Cause when the mood gets exciting, when everybody's kung fu fighting. Come on! Woo-ha. Woo-cha. Sing it, girl.
Sexy kung fu fighter, let me take you higher.
I got the moves, baby.
Sing kung fu fighter, take you higher.
There's bright lights on in no cold flow. A kung fu fighter in a disco. He's out to take his chance. He knows the honey's in the house, only go for romance. He's got a white suit on, 1:05, and the night has just begun. Cause when he lays it on with style, a ladies' man with a nice smile. And right before his eyes.
How do you want to spend your summer? Skateboarding? Well, do you want to look like this guy? Or hated by everyone?
And it's whispered that soon, if we all call the tune, then the piper will lead us to.
Rollerblading? Do you really want to do this?
And the forest will echo with
If you said no to the following questions, then inline skating is for you. You can go fast and dance at the same time. Call now. Also in the 1970s, a great band rose up, Aerosmith. The band was formed in Boston in 1970. The band consisted of guitarist Joe Perry, bassist Tom Hamilton, singer Steven Tyler, drummer Joey Kramer, guitarist Ray Tabano. In 1971, Tabano was replaced with Brad Whitford. They broke into mainstream in 1975 with the album Toys in the Attic. By the end of the 1970s, they were among the most popular hard rock bands out there.
in them books, written pages. Never learn from fools and from sages. You know it's true. All the things you do, pretty mama, will come back to you. Sing Wheeler, sing Foley.
To get a better look at the 1970s, here's John Feinberg with an exclusive interview.
Thanks, Alvaro. I'm here with Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper is TV production teacher from Roxbury High School. Mr. Cooper, first question is, what year were you born?
I was born in 1957.
Okay, and during the, so you remember the 1970s?
Very well.
So during the 1970s, what were you doing?
Well, the early 70s, I was in high school, from 71 to 75. From 76 to 79, well, 75 to 79, I guess, I was in college. So that was my education years.
So the 1970s were all of college and high school?
Yep.
And during the 1970s, you must have had many hobbies, music, and certain moments?
Sure, yeah.
So what would you?
Hobbies. In high school, I was on the rifle team and the fencing team, which are two things we don't have here.
Yeah.
And that was sort of cool. I actually did a little fencing in college. I was always an avid reader. I mean, I'm an English teacher. What do you want? And during college, what did I do during college? Pretty much just college stuff, getting ready to teach, student teaching. I joined a fraternity. It was fun. You know, the Vietnam War was on, which is one of the reasons why I want to make sure I got into college. So, because they wouldn't draft you if you were in college, you had a deferment. And that was it. 70s, a lot of good music, a lot of fun times.
That does sound like fun. And were there any historic events that happened in the 70s?
I think the biggest one had to have been the Vietnam War. That affected me, I guess, personally. I had friends and neighbors that went into Vietnam, and not all of them came back. You know, again, I was lucky I didn't go. Besides that, I don't really know. You know, you're sort of isolated when you're in college. You don't really deal with real life anymore. You just deal with, you know, with school. So that's all I can really think of.
Why do you think the Vietnam War was the biggest thing in the 70s?
Well, because people were getting drafted. You know, they were dreading going to the mail to see if they were going to be drafted. There were, you know, a lot of people were in the Vietnam War. There were tons of, it was a real full-out war. I'm not saying that the war we're in now with Afghanistan or with Iraq is not a full-out war, but we're talking hundreds and hundreds of thousands of troops as opposed to the minimal amount that we have now. So it was a real threat for anyone between the ages of like 18 and 25.
Okay. Well, thank you for the interview.
Oh, you're very welcome, John. My pleasure.
And that's about it. I'm John here with Mr. Cooper, and back to you, Alvaro.
Thank you, John, for that amazing interview. That's it for our show. The time's almost up. Tune in next time for the 1980s.
Who stand alone and